Do you want to be the type of duelist that match MVPs every game? Well, watch the whole video. I bet you'll learn something. Watch it.
What? Nice, Yoru. Oh my god. Yeah. 5 days annual plus some. Load up the mic and bust one. Cuss while I bust from my skull, cause it's pain in my brain vein. Money maintain, no go with the brain. Simple and plain. When I was younger, just I used to do my thing hard. Robbing foreigners, take their wallets, they jewels, and rip their green cards. Into the projects, flashing my quick cash.
Hey, I'm Maxi. I'm a 13-time Radiant player with my lowest finish being 91st in NA. And I know I got this running bit about being an everything main, but in all honesty, my true main role is Duelist, with Jett, Yoru, and Raze being my best agents. So this video has different clips on each of these agents, and I'm going to break down the thought process on how I made it happen, starting with Raze.
He's on the right side, he's going to be in door.
At first glance, that might have just looked like a clean entry, but there was a lot of thought that went to taking out this poor little Omen. To show you guys, we're going to be jumping back earlier into this game. It's a pistol round to show you the foundation of the strat.
Loki, I want to see if we can do a B hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Here, this time, I think we start with a Fade Eye here, and then you flash here, and then stun A-Link, and then I fight A-Link. Dog early, flash, stun Link, and then fucking run up on him after. W can the shit. Go. Go. Dog it. Oh, you didn't buy dog?
From here on out, the strat crumbles and we end up losing due to 2 glaring mistakes, which we'll get to in a second. For the strat itself, the idea was to use a Fade Dog to lead the way and clear space right here in the entrance of B main for any sort of peeks. After that, while I'm following through, getting ready to enter site, my breach places a high flash right here to blind anybody who's out in the open on site or running away from the dog. After that, the breach stun hits all of A-Link while I'm double satcheling in so I can shut down anybody who's unlucky enough to find themselves in that room. The reason why I call this strat is because it's pretty common now for Omens to sit in this broken door room, to flash A main to help your teammates contest for control, so it's a play to counter a specific variable of a standard play, meaning the strat isn't to take B, the strat is to take control of A-Link, by trying to actively predict and counter the Omen. This strat pretty much has everything covered and accounted for. My Fade clears the first level, which is these neutral areas that people like to fight in early, while my breach flashes the second level, which is the site itself, and then the stun covers the level 3 area, which are places that the enemy team usually have control of and that they retake from, just so I can fight it and have a strong foothold on the map. They just don't really matter as much as the intent. The true important thing is covering these bases and working the map. I could have made the same exact play with a Jett dash or a neon double slide. Once you understand your role and the goals you need to accomplish, you won't just be a Raze one trick. You'll be a full-fledged duelist demon. Anyways, let's jump back to the 2 mistakes, with the worst one being entirely my fault. My buddy Angel here is on Fade and I screwed up terribly in the communication. I said I in the beginning when I truly meant dog, and I didn't realize it at the time, so the timing on my entry was completely off. I take full responsibility for that. That's completely on me. I am stupid. And the second mistake was a smoke A-Link right here that helped the Omen take cover in the area I planned on fighting. My close smoked it off due to habit, because if they fight for A main control, smoking the broken door makes sense. It was an honest mistake, but all of those jumbled together ended up costing us the round. But we learned from our mistakes here at the Maxidome. So a couple rounds later, we ironed out the mistakes, and then we start with the dog this time. We also tweak up the smokes, making them land on top of C-Link and B heaven, and we give it another shot. From our earlier blunder, we already know that the Omen does like playing towards this broken door, so since he won last time, I'm hoping he feels complacent and doesn't really feel the need to change his play. And well, let's watch the finished product.
Go wing. C-Link.
Or I'm at that.
You have a flash for up there? Flash it? Okay, let me get this ace.
Right side.
Nice, hell yeah. He's real.
The next clip we're breaking down is one of the most clutch aces I've ever had on Neon. Let's get into it.
Okay, so A works. You guys want to keep doing that, but it might be too obvious.
I'm down. No, A's working really good. I think we just keep starting A. If anything, we just back up if we need to.
Yeah.
Do the dart for me.
So here, my teammates and I decided on going A again, with plans to stop if there's too much resistance. For context, the prior round, we took it without a hitch. We were in a 5v4 post plant, and sadly we crumbled from then on. But since we did take the site cleanly, and since for the entire half I've pretty much been bullying the enemy teammates short, on top of them also not having any strong retake ultimates in the final round aside from maybe the solo ult, it seems like our best bet if we can iron out the kinks from our post plant. I'm following the sky dog down, and while he clears the smoke on the left side, I notice an empty space on the right, so I use my slide to clear it just to make sure no stones left unturned. Turns out this round they're on a full retake, so that means another clean site. So now it's up to us to have really good positioning and layering to be able to hold down the fort. Unfortunately, this Sova ultimate was much more of a problem than we anticipated. The Sova not only disrupted the plant, it also forced my teammates out of position, and even more unlucky, at that exact time, the heaven smoke went out and the Reyna got 2 kills gift wrapped. From there, the enemy team take it as a cue to flood the site to jump on the advantage, so it's up to my KJ and I to salvage the round.
I'm backing up. Let's just take our time. Wait for his shield to go out.
Last round hold. You have it out.
Yeah. We'll wait for the smokes to go out and we can just fight slowly.
So here we're in a 2v4. On the bright side, they have close smokes, which have the shortest duration out of all the controllers. We still have a minute here, so what we should be looking for is to gather info to help paint a picture.
Hey, Heaven.
We want to find out where they are and who's where. Then from there, we can start trying to slowly equalize around and turn the advantage back in our favor. So for sure, after the smokes are out, we find out who's where, and then from there, we try to force 1v1s to turn the 2v2 into a 2v3, and then so on. If we try to force it here a little bit too early, we're just going to run into an execution squad. But if we wait for the smokes to clear, the lines of sight open up, and then we can look to flip the numbers and look to punish mistakes. Another positive to waiting is that the longer that you wait, an idea can pop in their head that the flank could be a possible blind spot. So if it's a problem for them, somebody may have to be forced to cheat over to hold it, and so simply by waiting you can shave down the numbers to 4 people on site to 3. So going back, as we established, Sova's towards heaven. By him making the mistake of giving away his position, that's all the opportunity I need to start dismantling their defense.
I am.
Coming through. 30 seconds left. Here we go. One enemy remaining.
Spawn.
I got spike.
Holy
I'm planning.
shit.
Turrets out. Spike land.
Ah, damn, bro.
Attackers win.
That was insane.
Nah, you're full of shit.
So like I mentioned earlier, this Sova telling me where he's at snowballed into us winning the round. This clutch was mostly due to my understanding of layering. It helped me take an educated gamble on where these players were. You may have heard the term play off contact before. Playing off contact pretty much just means that somebody holds an angle, and the second they see anything, a nearby teammate could swing to help them out so they could 2v1 the guy. Right here, the enemy team have full bomb control, so if I don't see anybody peeking, I can almost guarantee that the first point of contact is someone close in these corners with a direct line of sight on the spike. The first point of contact is the first layer. The second layer would be the people who swing and fight off the first contact. These second layer guys are probably going to be behind default or, like we already know, in heaven. So now the picture is more or less painted. Since I know So is a second layer player who's expected to peek off the first layer, from his POV, he's probably tucking in tight so the second contact's been made, he can peek to help his team. So I'm visualizing that in my head during the wall bang, and boom, free pick 2v3. If the dudes on the second layer peek too early and make mistakes, the dude on the first layers are sitting ducks and completely vulnerable since there isn't anything for them to take cover behind. So after that first pick, I use my wall to half the site right here and completely disrupt their layering. I could have walled the bomb, but I instead used it to fake it instead. If a level 2 layer guy is at default and he thinks I made a tunnel to get the spike, he might peek to stop that from happening. So I tweaked it a little bit to see if somebody was playing towards default, but nobody took the bait. So then that leads me to my second decision, and here at first glance, I would appear to have a 50-50 choice on either left or right of my neon walls, but it's more like 75-25 in my head. Because if a guy was on this right corner and was vulnerable, somebody default would at the very least amuse the bait. But there was dead silence, so I assume that the default player is leaning to help his left corner. So with the site halved with my neon wall, I pop my ultimate and try to isolate the guy on the left. And from there, we go from one guy to another for an easy dub. The next agent we're going to tackle is Yoru.
I'm gonna try to get a heal.
I'm a real rich prick. Exhibition off my dick. Too much sauce, roll my heel. Caution, you might need a mercy. Coffin, anything I fuck with real. Feel like a tongue, cause I'm really like a $4,000 shoes, same color, pick a rich.
You're insane. Good shit.
Okay.
We tried defaulting this round. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, that Raze swung showers last round.
We're starting off with a default, which means we work to obtain map control, so I'm focusing on showers. My brim gave me a heads up that Raze swung the last round, so I'm starting off with a simple ego challenge.
I'm gonna try to get a heal.
After the first blood, I dip out to get a heal because there's no reason for us to be hasty here. Far too many times I've seen advantages thrown away because the second somebody gets a first blood, they instantly want to hit site. You can slow down and regather and regroup for an even stronger and coordinated push rather than having your teammates trailing behind behind you as you run in with 1 HP and died at 3 people because the other team already instantly rotated the second their teammate died. That's another thing, people over-rotate quite a bit in this game. By slowing down and regrouping after, you can make sure that they're spread thin for a stronger sight take on your end.
I could make noise B and me and Cypher stay.
Yeah, I can send. You can try to dog up Hookah, and I can send a clone out and fake it like that.
So the plan here was to do a B fake, but unfortunately my teammates weren't sneaky enough and died before we made a strong enough B presence. So now I'm in a 1v4 with a guaranteed 3 people covering the spike, but luckily the last person is a Jett who's over here being silly and edging me on B, so she's my first priority. Luckily for me, she challenges me and gets sat down. But now I'm in a 1v3, and that's why she was my first priority. Clutching gets easier when you break it down. Rather than being overwhelmed about me taking on 4 guys at the same time, which I have, taking it 1 dude at a time is much more manageable and my average Wednesday night. So for sure, it's not a 1v4, it's 4 1v1s, so play accordion. So anyways, they have full spike control, but I have my ultimate and a teleport, so I'm about to cook. I toss my teleport for Hookah while I run all the way back towards A short and pop my ultimate to try to retrieve spike. As I'm running around, I'm just making a mental note on who's where. As soon as I grab the spike, I instantly teleport to try to plant on the opposite bomb site. I try to go for the plant as soon as possible because I already know 2 guys are on A. So I'm gambling that the 3rd guy either rotated over once they confirmed spike and I just didn't see him, or if he's actually on B, he won't take a careless 1v1 in case I tried faking it. By planting spike, I force these guys to play on my terms.
One enemy remaining.
Cutting through. Fake teleport.
You're insane.
Send
Good
5
shit.
more. We can do this again.
As I'm planting the spike, I hear 3 distinct teleports, so I know exactly where to expect the other team. I held really aggressive for the first guy because remember, you gotta try cheesing as many quick 1v1s as you can. After 1 down, there's only 2 1v1s left to go. After killing that 1 guy, I'm making loud footsteps running away while having my flash out in my hand. This is because I'm baiting them into running out to chase after me to try to trade me. All the while I plan on flashing to try to cheese another quick 1v1. 2 down, 1 more 1v1 left to go. In the final 1v1, this guy made a loud footstep.
One
running up
enemy
Hookah.
remaining.
At this point, I have all the momentum and confidence in the world, while this guy has the pressure of losing the 1v1 on his shoulders. So since I know exactly where he's at, I do Yoru things here by sending my teleport out towards long to fake me playing time. All the while I sit in tube and listen closely. If he makes noise jumping out, most likely he took the bait that I teleported off. If it's dead silent, he's suspicious. There's still a possibility of a fake out, so I stay cautious.
You're insane.
For the final clip of the video, I'm playing Jett on Haven. For context, the enemy team has been playing super slow. So this round, I jump on top of the C box, so I just inch over so I can hold super aggressively on the C angle for anybody walking up. After getting that one, I instantly move out the way just to make sure I don't get traded instantly. Omen smokes it off, but not before I catch a glimpse on some dude on this right side and I pepper him just a little bit. They won't be able to distinguish that I'm still shooting on top of the box right here, so I inch over and hold over this gap. I'm just holding confidently, taking random pop shots until the smoke's about to go out. As soon as I sense the smoke's about to go out, I reposition to the left side far just to make sure I'm not overextended in case there's people close holding the smoke. And I catch the killjoy on this right side still lurking about. Now we're in a 5v3 for a few short moments until my Reyna gets taken out on the other side of the map. As soon as that happens, I dash away and make a loud noise just to try to bait in case there's still people lurking about for my Omen. Still not a guarantee that they go back A here because like I previously mentioned, these guys played super slow. So I'm taking my time clearing garage just to be safe. Right here the enemy Jett dashes into sight, but we still have 0 confirmation on the deadlock. So I'm holding for the C walkout and periodically checking garage to make sure I don't get flanked.
Did you guys see long right here? Peace.
Sorry for the lackluster Jett clip, I'll make it up to you guys next video.